Welcome once again to Otto's Garage. Hi, so I'm having a look again at these brakes, and what I've been able to find is a company that will fabricate the bells and get them the right size. But what I've got to do is give them a bit of information first. That's exactly what I need, so they can then put that into their CNC machine. Let's just take a look what we've had to do and the kind of information they're after. Right, well, I've stripped the brake disc and the bell and the caliper. That's all come off the hub, so you probably saw that in a previous episode. And then what we've had to do, coming over to the table, is work out exactly what thickness the disc is, how many and what size, and the position of the mounting holes. Things like the PCD for the wheel studs, obviously the corresponding holes on the bell, how wide the bell's going to be, all sorts of dimensions with regard to the setting out of what you require for the bell. And what they do, which is quite good, is they supply you with a form, and on the form there it basically asks for all the different dimensions of that bell, and then of course the thing that I've had to work out, which is the main thing, is the height of it. And that is much reduced from the offset of the original bell that came with the kit. So basically, doing a little bit of workings out and maths and stuff like that, we've been able to work our new dimension out there as being 13 mil basically for our new offset. And that should then give us a position where the disc stays in the original place relative to the caliper and the hub, and then basically it means I can flick it over, get the mounting holes on what I feel is, and everyone seems to think is, the correct size, and then basically the new bell will mount on this face of the disc, but obviously we'll reduce the height of the mounting flange down to just have a 13 mil offset, and then she should be good, and we'll have all the bolts on the inside of the disc, so we'll have no bolt head fouling issue as she rotates. So I'm going to get that across to the guys, and we'll see what they come back with. While I'm waiting for those brakes to be sorted out, I've just dropped back onto getting some alignment on these doors so that we can work our way forward. So I've set these two up, and we basically got quite a good line, a coach line down there now. She's following quite nicely. I'm quite pleased with that. But this is really leading to the front wing, which is where we've got to kind of work away from the back. Obviously there's no play at the back there because that's been fabricated, and we're working all the way forward and adjusting everything as we go, and ultimately finishing with the front bumper around the front there. So I've just got a little bit of messing around to do with this, because obviously this has just come straight from the fiberglass suppliers, and it's a little bit needs a bit trimming off it here and there. And then we've got to mount it and try and get some kind of decent shot line down there, but that might be a little bit tricky. I don't know, we'll just see how we go with that. It may just have to go where it goes as best as I can get it, really. But anyway, that's the next job. Have a look at that wing, try and get that tidied up, try and get that fitted properly, and then we can work onto the bonnet, and obviously do the same down the other side of the car. Right, I've trimmed these bits off back here, and we've managed to pull the wing back, but I'm still getting a foul point here, so it's a pinch point when you open the door, which means that basically, I'll just open it for you now, you can see that's going to hit. That hits the wing at that point. So what I'm going to do is, I've just marked that out, we're going to just take a little bit of material off the fiberglass here, and then down at the bottom there, and you can see that one that comes out quite dramatically. She's not aligning there at all. So we'll trim some of that away, which should enable us to be able to move the wing back a little bit, and then get a bit of clearance back at this pinch point, hopefully. Right, I've chopped the wing around quite a bit there at the back. I previously took this filler panel off the back of the wing because it didn't fit correctly at all. So I chopped that out previously. But what I've done now is I've just put a couple of riv nuts in down here and here. That's bolted to the car. The wing, I've just basically clamped at the bottom. There's a little clamp down there. And then at the top here, we've just drilled that through. So I've got 3 bolt holes in there. I'm going to take the wing off, put some riv nuts in the top, and then basically we've got 3 positions we can bolt that wing down. When that's in place, we can then offer up the door again and just double check that this edge here is correct, and then we can get a fixing down here where this little glico clamp is at the moment. So there's a bit of on and off the car, but then she should be okay to go. Then after that's all good, inside where you can see the filler panel and the gap between the wing, I'll get all that fiberglass in there. So we'll put a fiberglass strip in place while it's on the car in the correct position, and then when that goes off, she'll come out, bingo, that wing should be good to go. So that's the riv nut tool. So basically what you do is you put the riv nut on the end of the thread, you pull the levers up, and it kind of squashes it in a bit like a rivet, and then it leaves it in that position. So now we've got a threaded insert there, so we can basically bolt the wing down onto that. Right, so we've got the riv nut in underneath. I've just put a little button nose M5 stainless fixing in there, and I'm just going to, I'm not going to wind them right down at the moment. It will need a washer under that afterwards really, but at least for now that'll hold it in its right place. So what we can now do is have a look and see how the door is going to integrate with that, because I don't want to fix the bottom or do the fiberglassing inside until I know where that's in the right place. So the next thing to do really is get the door on again, and we'll have a look at that and just see how it all works. There it is, bolted up. So I've put those ones in the top there as we did before. Not a bad fit around here. There's a bit of filling and stuff to do, but that's negligible. And there's a bit of making up I want to just make here, but the problem that you've got is that if this joint is too tight, you just can't open the door. I mean, you can see how much it moves in towards the wing, down on that lower part there, and also up here as well. So we're going to be a bit stuck with what we've got on that one, but at least the coach lines line up quite well, so I'm quite pleased with that. I've got to make a cutout on the back here, but I'll do that after I've glassed in the reveal inside on the underside of the wing there. But she's in her final place really now, so that's cool. Right, I've got both the wings on the front. We've fixed those on with the, what are they called? Riv nuts. Right, I've fixed both the wings on the front with those riv nuts. Just have a quick look. So you can see there, that's the first time we've basically had the front wings on correctly, so that's all bolted on. The wheel is on in the correct position, although I'm still messing around with actually the brake bells, but that's not a problem. At least the wheel is in the correct position there, and the bodywork running back to the rear arch down there. So we've now got ourselves a basis for doing some prep on the doors. Don't worry about that little rust patch there, that's going to go, and basically you get a good idea of what the wheels, how they fill the arches as well. So that's good. The only thing I need to do now is get the wheel on the other side, and then we'll be able to basically get this down on the ground, which would be cool. The shot lines on the bonnet aren't bad either. When I've mounted the wing there and we've set it all out from the doors back, we've got a pretty decent closure on both sides. This just needs resetting in the right place. I think I'm going to have to take a little bit off the back where it meets the scuttle, because at the moment it's not quite aligning with the front of the wing there. So the bonnet will go back a little bit, but it's looking good now anyway. So we're not far off getting it outside, so we can actually have a look at it and see what she looks like in the flesh. With the wheel across on full lock, it's getting quite a decent amount of steerage on there, but I do think I may have to put a lock stop on the back, because just in the very, very final stages of lock, it's just going to try and catch on the inner arch back there. But I'm not too worried about that, to be fair. She has got a decent amount of lock on her as we look down on it. So it is what it is, I'm afraid. Right, I've just offered up the front bumper again, just to see what that's like now the wings are in the final position. And yeah, I think we're good to go, really. So, I mean, obviously they're not quite in the right place, but the lines are good. It's following the arch quite well there, and it's following the line of the, you know, the radius of the arch as well on that side. So she's looking pretty good there. So I'm quite happy with that. Don't be, you know, alarmed about this bit. It will be lifted up to the, you know, when it's bolted up in the correct position, but it does just show that it all matches anyway. And if we have a look across the front and then onto the other side, you can see how it's matching up there pretty good as well. So that is good to go. I do just have a bit of fiddling around on that bonnet, but I'm going to leave that for the moment until I've got it down on its wheels. Okay, so that's just a bit of an update on the bodywork, but I am going to try and get that outside into the sunlight, and then we can see what she really looks like. But that'll be for about another week or so, because I think I've got to self-isolate. I'm okay, but I've been in contact with somebody. Anyway, that's another story. But in the meantime, thanks for watching Otto's Garage. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Bye bye!